Oh boy. Oh boy, that was fun to experience. That was fun to experience. Oh boy, LOL Mets strikes once again. LOL Mets strikes once again. Now, did the Phillies get help from the umpires? I've never complained about an umpire once in my life. I've never complained about an umpire once in my life. They always get the calls right. They always get the calls right. Oh man, what a win. What a gutsy win by this team, where the offense basically looked dead for, I would say, at least 85% of this game, where Christopher Sanchez really had the battle, and it was huge of him to get out of that bases loaded situation because it keeps the team involved in the game, and if he allows more runs in that situation, it's probably game over. It's probably game over with the way the offense was. And he found a way to settle in. He found a way to get out of that bases loaded jam, only getting one run. And the offense eventually woke up. There were some certain situations where I would have liked a little bit more, but they got, key situations and key contributors. Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott has been amazing. Bryson Stott has been amazing basically for the past couple of games. He's been really good for basically like the past week and a half. Same, like you could say the same thing with his stats along with Nick Castellanos. Bryson Stott has been a major carry of this offense, especially when it comes to driving guys in. He gets the huge solo shot to lead off the top of the ninth inning off Edwin Diaz. That was huge to spark the rally. And then he gets the sac fly, productive out in the 10th inning to secure the winning run because Jose Alvarado was absolutely electric in the bottom of the 10th. Forces a pop-up on a bunt. Bo makes a nice play there. Then Bo makes a nice play on a ground out, soft chopper right to him. And then, great play by Bryson Stott at shortstop, which probably would have been a tying run if no one gets there to make that, that flutter of a ball that could have died it there and, right after second base. He made the play there. And also you got to thank, in the bottom of the ninth inning, Cody Clemens that came into the ball game eventually to pinch hit, and he got a pinch hit, so that's the Phillies' first pinch hit of the season. He made a fantastic play on Francisco Lindor, robbing him there at second base. So the defense came up huge for you at the end of the game. The bullpen was good for you as well. I would count that Soto situation once again to unluckiness because it was just a weird fluky play that happened at third base. Alec Boehm has that, 95% of the time he just missed it because he was trying to make two plays at once. And yeah, maybe Serafty Dominguez should not have been brought out for a wraparound inning. Maybe you should have brought in for someone to, on a clean inning. But your offense stepped up when it needed to, your bullpen stepped up when it needed to, and your defense stepped up when it needed to, and you beat a Vince team that you should beat. That's basically it. Your offense was struggling against Sean Manaea, though. That definitely was the first thing. And it's still... let's be real here. Let's the true hero of the day. The true hero of the day is the umpires. That's the true hero of the night. Because that Whit Merrifield miscall was so bad. How do you miss that? That was the most obvious swing in the world. I'm standing there right in front of my television like, yep, that's strike two. And like, what? Like, my jaw dropped on how you missed that. And then the replay made it even more egregious. Like, I could tell if it was a swing from the live action. From the replay, holy shit, how do you miss that? And then Alec Boehm wasn't having the best at bat in the world. But then, caught a break even though it was a painful break because Edwin Diaz beamed him in the knuckles with a heater. And, Alec Boehm taking one for the team there, that ties the ball game up. Would have liked to see Bryce Harper do something there with the bases loaded. Would have liked to see Schwarber do something pinch hitting there with the bases loaded. I was completely expecting a huge Schwarber bomb to lift everything up just because that would be perfect picturesque LOL Mets in that situation. But... Man, oh man. Still, gutsy win, man. Gutsy win. And good teams find ways to win games like this. Where, You're losing bodies right now. Schwarber, he got into the game today as a pinch hitting situation, so he'll probably be back in the lineup most likely tomorrow, I would assume at this point. We still don't know what JT is right now because apparently he's been feeling that pain in his knee since May 4th. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It's funny too because he's been swinging a really good bat in the 2-hole, for Trey Turner, and he's been feeling the knee pain ever since. So, like, is it something that we should be concerned about? Is it something to where he just needs a couple of days off? That's something that you are going to have to look at, because if JT misses extended period of time, you're probably going to have to make a move for a catcher because you don't have anyone down the prospect system that you can bring up as just a replacement, because you can't be playing Garrett Stubbs every day because that's just not who Garrett Stubbs is. And the other guy you would be able to call up is Rafael Marchand, but he's injured right now, so you can't call him up. So if JT would miss extended period of time, which I don't know if that's going to be the case, they don't sound too concerned about it, which I'm just going to leave it as it is right now. You're probably going to have to make a move for a catcher. You're probably going to have to make a trade for a catcher just to, supplement the loss of JT right there. You're going to have to do it if that's the case. But, right now, this team is surviving because other guys are stepping up in place of the missing bodies. Like I said, Harper's going to battle through these back issues throughout the entire season. Harper's not going to, maybe he'll have a game off here or there in the near future, but he's not going to miss extended periods of time. That's just not what Bryce Harper's going to do. Schwarber, they probably just wanted to get him off his feet for a couple of days with his back situation. Schwarber doesn't sound concerned about it. He probably thinks he feels fine. He was taking a lot of batting practice today, so I would expect Kyle to be back in DHing tomorrow. That's what I would expect at this point, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with JT. I don't know what's going to happen if he's going to play tomorrow, because tomorrow is an afternoon game, and are they going to force Garrett Stubbs to catch basically 2 games in under 24 hours? So we're going to have to wait and see there. If JT does play and if he's healthy enough to play, I'm sure he's going to try as hell to get back into the lineup and force Rob's hand, but that's a Rob Thompson decision at the end of the day. So that is something to think about there. But overall, hey, you found a way to win. You found a way to win, and that's the most important thing. Orion Kerkering dominated in that bottom of the 9th inning. His stuff was absolutely filthy. And then good stuff there from Jose Alvarado. Just went in there, shut the door down. Shut the door down. Wendell couldn't get a bunt down. It was a very terrible bunt. You pop it up. And then Bo made a nice play there at third. And then Stott made a nice play at shortstop for the final out. So, hey, you find yourself in the W column. It's your 29th win on the season. Keep getting those W's. Offense, I expect to be much better over the course of the next few days, just because I do. Just because that's just what this team, when they have a bad day offensively, they usually bounce back with a really good offensive night. And we'll see how that goes. Christopher Sanchez, I was going to be very sour on him, just depending on the result. But I have to be positive about Christopher Sanchez, even though I don't like the situation that he got himself into, because it kind of looked like he was losing it a little bit there. But he found a way to battle. He found a way to battle, and he got out of that bases loaded jam, which is the only reason you were involved in the game to begin with. So you got to give your tip of the cap to Christopher Sanchez for keeping you involved, because that was huge. Because like I said, if that inning gets any worse for the Braves, for the Mets, that could probably be the end of the game, most likely. With, that could be a 5-run inning, 4-run inning, 6-run inning. Excuse me there. Because bottom of the 3rd inning, it starts with a Marte leadoff double, then Lindor walks. Then Alonso gets a single, which loads the bases up. Then he walks Martinez, which allows the run to score. But then he strikes out Beatty, strikes out Bader, and strikes out McNeil. Great stuff there from Sanchez to get out of that situation. And then he manages to go at least a couple of more innings. He does, I believe, come out in the bottom of the 6th. He did allow a base runner because of, just an error. Because it was a grounder to Bryson Stott. Sanchez missed the throw from Stott, and that allowed the base runner to get on there. So that's the reason why, I guess, Rob decided to yank him after that. So Randy Dominguez, he got a walk, and then he managed to get out of that situation. And then your offense basically started to come awake a little bit there. But Phillies, they did take the early 1-0 lead. I feel like they could have done a little bit more. Stott gets it on infield singles, Sosa with the double, so you got a runner on 2nd and 3rd with no outs. Marsh grounds out on the first pitch, and then Rojas strikes out looking. You got to find a way to swing the bat there, man. But then Garrett Stubbs puts down a beautifully placed bunt with 2 outs, gets a run home. Stubbs is safe at first, and you go up 1-0. Sadly, the Mets did take the 2-1 lead directly after that, after a couple of hits, a double by Alonso, a double by Martinez. Nito gets a 2-out single to score another run to make it 2-1 there. The Mets eventually took the 3-1 lead, like I said, with the bases loaded situation. Thankfully, Sanchez got out of that. And then eventually, when you get into that top of the 7th inning, that's when the Phillies start to wake up a little bit. Sosa and Marsh, both with leadoff singles. Sosa goes to third there, then Marsh eventually steals second base. Rojas gets a productive out. He grounds out to score the run there to make it 3-2. And then, sadly, the Mets go to the bullpen. Ottavino, Stubbs grounds out, and then Merrifield grounds out. So can't do anything there with the runner on third base, and can't get a productive out from Stubbs at all. It's just to drive the run home. So it's still a 3-2 ball game. Then you go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sarafi Dominguez, he walks Pete Alonso. JD Martinez reaches in on an infield single, and then they bring in the pinch runner. Rob Thompson decides to go to Gregory Soto, and then just unlucky situation. Chopper. Bohm was trying to play the ball to get the out at third base and throw it over the first base. I guess because he was trying to do 2 things at once. He just missed the ball, and the ball just stayed fair. So it scored a run in that situation, and it became 4-2 Mets. So they responded after you cut it to a one-run lead to make it a 2-run lead again. And then you don't do anything in the top of the 8th inning. Ruiz does a really solid job in the bottom of the 8th for the Phillies, 1-2-3 there. And then you go to this top of the 9th. They do all that stuff for Edwin Diaz, the trumpet song and everything there. The lights go blazing and all that stuff. And the Phillies do their thing. Bryson Stott crushes a ball, makes it a 1-run game. Solo shot into the bullpen. Cody Clemens with a single. Brandon Marsh walks. Schwarber does strike out, though, so that kind of sucked there. And then Stubbs popped up on the first pitch, so you're like, man. All that momentum that you got from the home run, from the 2 other base runners getting on, you just lost that momentum there. And then Merrifield got lucky. Not going to lie, he got lucky. And then Bohm gets hit by the pitch. Diaz was very wild, basically since the Stott home run. Diaz was very wild in that inning, all over the place. Completely all over the place, and that showed it on the Bohm getting hit by a pitch. So that ties the ball game up. Sadly, Bryce Harper struck out to end the inning to bring it to the bottom of the 9th. Kerkering was really good. 1-2-3 there. Top of the 10th inning, Castellanos with a leadoff walk, and then Bryce Harper also advanced to third on a wild pitch, and for some reason, no one knew the pitch count. Like, I completely forgot about this situation. No one knew how to count. No one knew how to count. It was obviously, when you're watching the entire at bat, they threw 4 balls in the count, and Nick Castellanos walked. But for some reason, no one knew the pitch count, because for some reason, the scoreboard people in Citi Field for New York didn't know the count. And that confused the living hell out of everybody. And they had to go to, they have to call down to New York to review it and all that stuff. It's like, oh, the call stands. It was ball 4. There was 4 balls done. No shit. No shit. Watching it live, you could tell that. Ugh. Bryson Stott gets a sac fly. Sadly, the Phillies weren't able to get anything else there, so got out of that inning. Bottom of the 10th, Jose Alvarado does his thing, and that's how she wrote it. Phillies lineup today: Whit Merrifield goes 0-4, Alec Bohm 0-4 with an RBI. Bryce Harper goes 1-5. Nick Castellanos goes 0-4. Bryson Stott 2-4. He was fantastic. Edmundo Sosa 2-3. So he's still hitting in place of Trey Turner. So that's nice to see from Sosa. And then Clemens came in for the pinch hit. He went 1-2. Marsh goes 1-2 with 2 walks. Rojas, he goes 0-3 with an RBI. Kyle Schwarber came in the pinch hit. He went 0-1 with that strikeout. Garrett Stubbs, he goes 1-4 with an RBI. And the Phillies in totality, they go 1-11 runners in scoring position. Pitching line for tonight: Christopher Sanchez, 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts on 108 pitches. He battled. He definitely did. He kept the team involved. Sarafi Dominguez, 1 hit, 1 run, unearned, 2 walks, and on 25 pitches. Only pitched 2/3 of an inning. Gregory Soto pitched 2/3 of an inning, 10 pitches, 1 strikeout. Ruiz, 1-2-3 inning, 10 pitches, 1 strikeout. Kerkering, 12 pitches, 1 strikeout. And then Jose Alvarado only needed 9 pitches in the 10th to get the save. So good stuff there from Jose Alvarado. 29th win on the season. Just keep the wins coming, man. Just keep the wins coming. Some great stuff there. And it's always great to see. Always great to see LOL Mets. Always great stuff. Always great stuff. It's everyone on Twitter just shitting on the Mets right now. That's funny. Oh, man. Someone pointed out Rangers, Knicks, and Mets are combined 1-7 since May 10th. Hate to see it. You could say that's revenge for the Knicks getting all those calls in the playoffs against the Sixers. Can you say that? Can you say that? Do I want to bring that up? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, great stuff from your Phillies, boys. Great stuff from the Fightins. Great stuff. Find a way to win those games, man. Find a way to win those games. It's all you got to do at the end of the day. You find ways to win. This team found a way to win again. Ay. In a game where I thought they were going to lose just because of the way the offense was looking. And they just weren't looking sharp. It just didn't look like they saw the ball out of Manaea's hand. Because if you look at Manaea's stats for the Mets, he went 6 innings, only allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 100 pitches. I guess you could say credit to him, but the Phillies just didn't see anything at all. The Mets bullpen is where it really came down to the case. Lopez, he allowed an earned run. Diaz allowed the 2 earned runs in the 9th, and then Reed Foley allowed the sac fly in the extra innings, but he doesn't get charged for the run because of the ghost runner. So, even though it's a very stupid rule to begin with, we all know this, the ghost runner is a stupid rule in general. But, yeah. Always love to see the Phillies get those wins. Always love to see it. Always love it. Now, this is the one thing that's, like, I'm trying to debate here when you look at this, this, like, home and home set with the Mets. Because 2 games in New York, 2 games in Philadelphia this week. Do you just count the entire thing as a 4-game series, or do you just count it as 2 separate 2-game series? That's probably what they're going to count it as, 2 separate 2-game series. I guess in the entire totality, you could say it's a 4-game series, just because you're playing the same team for 4 games. But, I don't know. That's just something that's just, like, going around in my head as I think about it. Do you just call this a 4-game series and just go with it and all that? I don't know. I guess I should call it a 4-game series, because why not? And, yeah, it's going to be a quick turnaround tomorrow. It definitely is a 1 o'clock start. And I believe it's going to be Aaron Nola on the mound, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's going to be Aaron Nola against Jose Butto. Jose Butto, he is 1-2 with exactly a 3 ERA on the season. And his past couple of starts, his past 4 starts, he's allowed 10 earned runs. His past 4 starts, he's allowed 10 earned runs. And it looks like he has, 1 good start, 1 bad start, 1 good start, 1 bad start, it looks like. So we're going to have to wait and see. Tomorrow. But like I said, I do expect the Phillies offense to be much better tomorrow. And they're finally not facing a lefty on the mound, so that's different. I believe the past 4 games in a row, they've been facing lefties. Every game in the Marlins, the starting pitcher was a lefty. And today with Manaea, he was a lefty. So who knows? Maybe that could be a change in difference right there. Definitely need Aaron Nola to have a good start tomorrow. His past couple of starts, the one against the Giants was not good. And the one against the Blue Jays was not, it wasn't as bad as the Giants one, but still. Could be way better from Aaron Nola. So definitely want to see that happen. And then for the 2 games in Philadelphia against the Mets, Ranger Suarez, he will pitch on Wednesday against Jose Quintana. Jose Quintana is 1-4 with a 5.44 ERA. And then Taijuan Walker pitches on Thursday against Christian Scott. He's 0-1 with a 2.84 ERA. So just keep winning your games, boys. Just keep winning your games. That's all that matters at the end of the day. That's all that matters. And in terms of your lead in the NL East, you are 2 games ahead of the Braves. You're 29-13. The Braves are 25-13, so it looks like they played 4 less games than you. So that's probably why. And, yeah, just keep taking advantage of the games in hand that you have, and roll with it. That's it. Just roll with it. Keep winning those games, boys. Keep winning those games. And I believe the Braves did win today, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Braves did beat the Cubs. Let me see. Yeah, the Braves beat the Cubs 2-0. So, yeah, you won. The Braves won. So, no harm done at the end of the day. You gotta win. That's the most important thing. Man, oh man, oh man. LOL Mets strikes again. LOL Mets strikes again. So let's get to the comment section here. Brian, yep, guts you win. I agree. LOL, LOL. Let's freaking go. For being in mid-May, this sure felt like a playoff game. Stotty's been amazing, man. Couldn't have happened to a better team. Umpire masterclass on display. Oh, yeah, definitely. I never complained once about the umpires in my life. Never did once. LOL Mets jinxed themselves with those ninth-inning trumpets. Stott definitely gave this team a message in the ninth. Oh, 100%. He set the tone. He set the tone, definitely. Let's just say the Mets met. If Alec Boehm didn't get hit, this would have been a different ballgame. If Whit Merrifield didn't get that check swing. I know Alec Boehm was down 0-2 in the count before he got hit by the pitch, so it definitely could have been a completely different situation. But it kind of really started with Whit Merrifield in that check swing, honestly. It kind of did. It kind of did. It kind of did. It kind of did. But you took advantage of it. You took advantage of a situation where they were getting screwed. People are just, there's a picture right here from what I believe this is a Phillies podcast, Bell Smashers podcast, and they made a picture where home plate was like way in front of Whit Merrifield, and they're saying, not sure what Mets fans are complaining about. He definitely checked his swing. Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. That is very hilarious. Oh man. Oh man. What else is there? What else is there? Anything else here on Twitter? Is it anyone else making fun of the Mets? Anyone else making fun of the Mets here? Let's see. Let's see. I don't see anyone else here trashing the Mets right here, or this entire situation. So we'll see. So we will see. We will see what happens. And speaking of other things around baseball, I think Rhys Hoskins did get injured, so that sucks to see for the Brewers. I believe he left the game in the second inning, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. And also just getting back to the injury things, I think there was something before the game that was talking about Schwarber and JT. So I want to try to bring that up there. So, where's it at? So this was from Scott Lauber. This was at 4:06 before the game. JT Realmuto is dealing with what he described as soreness in his right knee. Felt it on his triple May 4 versus the Giants, and it hasn't gotten better. No tests yet. Said he's hopeful of being able to play in the next few days. Not concerned yet about it turning into an IL situation. So they should get that tested out. They should get that tested out, in my honest opinion. It doesn't sound like JT's going to play tomorrow from that statement, basically, before the game. So I wouldn't be shocked if Stubbs plays. Would not be shocked if Stubbs plays. So, yeah. That's basically it there. It's basically it there. So, yeah. Good win for the Phils. Good win for the Phils. Can't ask for much more than LOL Mets. Can't ask much more there. So, that'll do it for tonight, everybody. Don't have any voicemails here, so might as well end it off. Appreciate you guys for joining out. We will obviously have the recap tomorrow after tomorrow afternoon's game. I do have a doctor's appointment during the game, so I'll most likely be home in time before the game ends. I believe it's like halfway through the game or something like that, so nothing to worry about there. But, yeah, we'll have the recap tomorrow as always, so don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leaves me, does me great stuff with the algorithm. Does everything great there. And also, don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up.